So thank you for joining us as we cover your company's health savings account and flexible spending accounts. This presentation is being presented by WEX. My name is Katie, and I'm happy to be here with you today. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to throw them in chat. I believe Christy will be watching chat to try to help answer those. Otherwise, we can address those at the end. Just please be aware that this is a public forum, a public presentation. So please refrain from asking any questions specific to your account as we don't want to divulge any sensitive information. So during our presentation today, we will start off discussing your health savings account and why you should consider enrolling in an HSA. A health savings account is a benefit that allows you to choose how much of your paycheck you like to set aside before taxes are taken out for eligible healthcare expenses that we'll take a look at in just a moment. You can also use it as a retirement savings tool. Just some of the benefits that are that it is yours in an individually owned account. Think of your HSA as a personal savings account. Any unspent money in your HSA remains yours and rolls over year after year, allowing you to grow your balance over time. You also have investment options. You can invest your HSA funds in an interest-bearing account or our standard mutual fund lineup. Savvy investors may opt for a health savings brokerage account powered by Charles Schwab, giving you access to more than 8,500 mutual funds, stocks, and bonds. It is flexible and helps you save for a rainy day, invest for your future retirement, or simply spend your funds on qualified expenses tax-free. In order to be eligible for an HSA, you must be enrolled in a high deductible health plan. This means you cannot be covered by a PPO or HMO health plan, regardless if you are enrolled in the plan or if you are covered by your spouse's or guardian's PPO or HMO health plan. For reference, a PPO or HMO plan would have copays and an HDHP would not. In order to qualify as an HDHP, the health plan must have a deductible of at least $1,700 for individual coverage and $3,400 for family coverage. Did you know that you can enroll in an HSA and still enroll in a dependent care FSA? Which we will look at that dependent care FSA here in a little bit. Health savings accounts offer a unique triple tax savings. This means that the money you contribute, earnings from the investments, and withdrawals for eligible expenses are all tax-free, offering more tax savings than a traditional Roth 401k and IRA, making it a powerful savings and retirement tool. Now, what is eligible under an HSA? There are thousands of eligible items, including but not limited to copays, coinsurance, insurance premiums, doctor's visits and surgeries, over-the-counter medications, prescription drugs, birthing and Lamaze classes, dental and orthodontia, vision expenses such as frames, contacts, prescription sunglasses, and more. When you reach age 65, you can withdraw money without penalty and use it for anything, including non-healthcare expenses. You are eligible to contribute to an HSA after you turn 65 if you meet the following criteria. You must remain enrolled in a qualified high-deductible health plan, and you do not enroll in Medicare. Note, if you sign up for Social Security, you are automatically enrolled in Medicare Part A. If you are enrolled in Medicare, you are not eligible to contribute to your HSA. However, you may continue to withdraw funds from your HSA without penalty. Distributions remain tax deductible if they are used to pay for qualified medical expenses. Your spouse's enrollment in Medicare doesn't provide coverage for you, so you remain eligible to contribute to your HSA as long as you are not covered by a non-high deductible health plan. Your spouse's qualified medical expenses are still eligible for reimbursement from your HSA, even though your spouse is enrolled in Medicare. This slide represents the 2026 HSA annual contribution limits, which are $4,400 for individual and $8,750 for family. You can contribute pre-tax via payroll contributions as well as post-tax contributions, and contributions can be changed at any time throughout the year. Your annual contributions should not exceed the annual limits or you may be fined by the IRS, and WEX will alert you via email if you contribute more than the IRS maximum with us. You can also set up text alerts so you receive a notification once you meet an established contribution threshold. Um, any individual age 55 or older who is currently enrolled and eligible for the HSA may contribute an additional $1,000 above and beyond the IRS maximum annually to their account. Studies are showing that Americans appreciate their benefits even more now and, in fact, contributing more. I encourage you to sit down and run your numbers, set savings goals. If you are just starting off, some will contribute just enough to cover their deductible. Then, if a healthcare expense comes out of left field, it does not weigh you down. You can use your HSA, then save whenever you can. Some of the smaller items can be paid for out of pocket so that you can save your HSA instead. Then down the road, you could always pull the HSA funds out if you really need them. Remember, it is a health savings account, not a health spending account. Let us review a real life example of how having an HSA can save you money. Meet Angela. Angela is a 38-year-old mother of 3 kids and has a full-time career. She is enrolled in an HSA and makes an annual contribution of $67.50. Since her HSA contributions are taken out pre-tax, her actual taxable income is lowered, which means she has more take-home pay than if she didn't have an HSA. For Angela, this means an additional $1,215 to use for expenses or maybe even for a fun trip for her family. To help demonstrate what an HSA is, let us compare it to a standard flexible spending account. An FSA is employer owned, and you forfeit any unused money back at the end of the plan year versus an HSA that is employee owned, and you can take all money in the account with you even if you leave the company. Both can receive employer and employee contributions. To be eligible for the FSA, a group health plan must be offered by the employer, whereas with the HSA, an individual must be enrolled in a high deductible health plan to be considered eligible. And only the HSA provides participants with investment options. So let us talk a little bit more about investment options. After you have met your minimum cash balance, you can start investing your HSA funds. You can invest your HSA funds in an interest-bearing account or a standard mutual fund lineup. Savvy investors may opt for a health savings brokerage account powered by Charles Schwab, which again gives you more than 8,500 mutual funds, stocks, and bonds. You can even keep track of your HSA portfolio right from your benefits mobile app. If you're ready to start investing, it's easy. Just log into your account, open your HSA investment account, and click Start Investing. You'll have the choice to pick your own funds, or you can use our guidance tool if you'd like help deciding. So what do you need to do when it comes to your HSA? WEX will make it easy for you to manage your HSA with an online account, free benefits mobile app, as well as text and email alerts. All you have to do is make sure you use your HSA for eligible healthcare expenses. We recommend saving your documentation, such as itemized receipts and EOBs, for tax purposes. You can use the expense tracker in your account to store everything in one place. Then at the end of the year, we will provide you with the necessary tax forms for you to file your taxes. But it is still your responsibility to report your HSA contributions and distributions at tax time. Now let us take a look at medical flexible spending accounts, or medical FSA, what it is and how you can leverage this tax-free account. A medical FSA is a benefit that allows you to choose how much of your paycheck you'd like to set aside before taxes are taken out for qualified medical, dental, vision, and preventative healthcare expenses. This saves you money by reducing your taxable income. The funds are available on day one. All of your FSA funds are available to spend right away. Think of it like a discount on healthcare expenses at stores such as Amazon, Target, CVS, Walmart, Walgreens, and more. Dollars you contribute are taken out of your paycheck before tax, which means a $100 purchase could actually cost you over $130 without a medical FSA. Think about the money you spent on your medical, dental, vision, and preventative care expenses last year. Plan ahead and set those funds aside in a medical FSA and save. What does the medical FSA cover? To name just a just some of the many examples, medical expenses include things like ambulance services, coinsurance, copays, lab fees, prescriptions, or over-the-counter medication. Dental expenses include things like cleanings, coinsurance, copays, deductibles, dental treatments, fillings, and orthodontics. Vision expenses are similarly straightforward, covering contact lenses, eye drops, eye exams, prescription glasses and sunglasses, and vision correction procedures like LASIK. Then there's preventative care, which includes services such as physicals, immunizations, and well child visits. The IRS sets a maximum dollar amount you can elect and contribute to a flexible spending account, and the current FSA annual contribution limit is $3,300. We recommend reviewing how much you spend on eligible expenses every year to determine how much to elect. Once you elect an FSA, all of your FSA dollars are available for you to use the very first day of the plan year. For example, if you elect to contribute $1,200 to your FSA, your contributions will be deducted evenly across all of your paychecks for the year, but you have access to all $1,200 on day one. You can use your funds for expenses incurred by you, your spouse, or eligible dependents. Let us review a real-life example of how having an FSA can save you money. Meet Ashley. Ashley is a 33-year-old college graduate working in marketing. She is enrolled in an FSA and makes an annual contribution of $3,050. Since her FSA contributions are taken out pre-tax, her actual taxable income is lowered, which means that she has more take-home pay than if she did not have an FSA. For Ashley, this means an additional $549 she gets to keep and take home. Your plan year runs from January 1st to December 31st. March 31st is your runout date, which means you have until this date to submit all paperwork for claims incurred during the plan year. A carryover allows you to transfer up to $660 of your remaining balance at the end of the plan year into the following year. Think of it like a safety net for your FSA. If you end up spending less than you anticipate when making your elections during open enrollment, you can tap into those funds next year. Carryover funds become available to you after the runout or claim filing period. And again, you're able to carry over up to $660 while still electing the full maximum annual election in the new plan year. If you have the benefits debit card, it will continue to work as normal using your carryover funds first. Now let us take a look at the Dependent Care Flexible Spending Account, what it is, and how you can also leverage this tax-free account. A dependent care FSA is a benefit that allows you to put aside a portion of your paycheck before taxes for eligible dependent care expenses each year. The Dependent Care FSA lets you pay for eligible dependent care expenses while you reap the benefit of additional tax savings. You are spending the money either way. This way, eligible childcare and other dependent care costs are a little less. You can either use the funds as they are contributed to your dependent care account, or choose to save strategically and submit all of your dependent care expenses at the end of the plan year for one lump sum to give yourself a hard-earned bonus at the end of the year. Your dependent care FSA can be used to pay for out-of-pocket daycare expenses, after-school programs, and daycare programs for dependents up to the age of 13. It also covers costs for disabled spouse or dependents of any age. Your household can elect up to $7,500 maximum annually through the Dependent Care FSA in 2026. A household can be a single adult electing $7,500, or if you are married and have a domestic partner and elect $7,500 total together as a household. If you are married but filing separately, your total annual election can still not exceed $7,500. You can contribute dollars to your dependent care FSA pre-tax with your payroll dollars to help pay for qualified dependent care expenses. We do offer a recurring dependent care request form that makes utilizing your dependent care dollars really easy. Simply fill out the form once, submit it to WEX, and if approved, we will reimburse you every time you contribute to your dependent care account. Let us review a real-life example of how having a dependent care FSA can save you money. Meet Kenneth. Kenneth is a 36-year-old single father with 2 children in daycare. He is enrolled in a dependent care FSA and makes an annual contribution of $7,500. Since his dependent care FSA contributions are taken out pre-tax, his actual taxable income is lowered, which means he has more take-home pay than if he didn't have a dependent care FSA. For Kenneth, this means an additional $1,350 that he gets to keep and take home. For the dependent care FSA, your plan year also runs from January 1st to December 31st, with March 31st being your runout date, which means you have until this date to submit all paperwork for claims incurred during the plan year, same as the medical FSA. The one difference on the dependent care is you do not have a carryover, so you do have to use your election prior to March 31st in order to receive your funds. Once you elect an FSA, you cannot change your election unless you have a qualifying event. A qualifying event includes change in marital status, number of dependents, or a job status change. You have 30 days from the date of your qualifying event to notify your employer to make any election changes. Your enrollment in any of our plans includes our free benefits debit card. This allows you to easily access your funds right from your wallet to help minimize the amount of out-of-pocket spending. If you already have our debit card, they are good for several years, so you'll continue using the same card until it reaches the expiration date where you will receive a new card prior to your card expiring. Regardless if you are enrolled in an FSA or other WEX benefit, you will use the same card. If your card is lost or stolen, you can order a new card free of charge from the Benefits mobile app or by going through your online account. The WEX Benefits debit card is the most common way that claims against your FSA are filed. Now let's talk a little bit about documentation. There are instances where we will reach out to you requesting documentation for your debit card purchase. This isn't because we want to keep bothering you. It is because it is an IRS regulation. Before we get into what is needed specifically for substantiation, let's talk about when you may be asked to provide it. We truly try to minimize the amount of times we have to ask for documentation or substantiation, and this is because we completely understand that keeping track of your documentation or substantiation can be a hassle. We want this to be easy for you, so our debit card has a couple of great features. First, our debit card works with what is called an IIAS system. This means that if the merchant allows, typically you'll see this in big boxers like Target and CVS, our debit card can read what each product being purchased is and will only allow eligible FSA items to be purchased on it, allowing it to auto-substantiate or verify the card purchase. For example, say you are at Target and you're purchasing a box of Band-Aids, sunblock, and soda. If you swipe your WEX benefits card, it will allow the Band-Aids and sunblock to be purchased as these are FSA eligible, but you would be asked to use a different form of payment for the soda. In this instance, the card could read and only allow FSA eligible items to be purchased. It will auto-substantiate and we will not ask you to reach out for documentation to substantiate. Next, our debit card recognizes recurring transactions. For example, if you go to the chiropractor and you have a copay, the first time you use your debit card to pay for that service, we will ask for substantiation. Once properly substantiated, our debit card will assume that if the card is used for the same dollar amount at the same merchant, it is already approved. It is an already approved service or purchase, and you will auto-substantiate. Again, this means we won't ask you for further documentation. Lastly, there are going to be places that we will ask you for documentation. An example would be the dentist's office. As the dentist's office does not have an IIAS system and offers services that are not FSA eligible, we will ask you to substantiate your transactions there so we can tell if you got a teeth cleaning, which is 100% FSA eligible, or if you got a teeth whitening, which is not an eligible expense. Now, if you are asked to provide documentation, the best form of documentation to submit is an explanation of benefits, or EOB, as it contains all of the necessary information for WEX to approve your claims. You receive the EOB from your medical, dental, or vision carriers. An itemized receipt from a provider or merchant may work as well, but keep in mind any documentation provided must include the following information: when the service was received, where the service was received, what service was received, and the amount or cost of the service received. For anything you've paid out of pocket, you can also submit a claim to be reimbursed by using your mobile app. Simply log in, select File a Claim, and use the easy to follow steps. You can even take a picture of your explanation of benefits or itemized receipt right from your mobile phone. And of course, you can submit a claim through your online account by following similar steps and uploading your documentation, or by submitting the claim form. All claims are processed within 2 business days. You can choose to be reimbursed via check in the mail or set up direct deposit, and we're able to send funds right to your bank account. Direct deposit is provided free of charge and is a quick and easy way to get your reimbursement. Now let's end with a highlight of how you can access all of your accounts with us. You can get access to your account information by logging into your online account. Here you see details and balances of any accounts with us, transactions, and complete any task you like or need to take on your account. We also have the free WEX Benefits mobile app. The WEX mobile app provides you with quick and easy access to your online account. After logging in the first time, you can set up fingerprint access right from your phone. Other great features include an eligible expense scanner, which allows you to scan barcodes of items to see if they qualify as an eligible expense. Take a photo of your explanation of benefits or itemized receipt in order to submit documentation for any outstanding claims. This saves a ton of time since you don't have to scan and email a receipt and upload it manually. And you can also easily check your account balance while standing in line at the store, making it easy to decide if you want to use your FSA dollars to cover a purchase. For any questions or assistance you may need, our participant services team is available to you Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Central. There's a variety of ways to contact us. You can call us and speak to a participant services representative, or get support on our website at www.wexinc.com.
That's great, Katie. Thank you so much. We did have a couple of questions come in, if you could help us out with those.
Yes, of course.
Awesome. So Tim has a question about the FSA. So he's giving us a scenario. Let's say that we have $1,000 left in his FSA at the end of the year, but he's not really anticipating any additional expenses or services. And so at the end of the year, how does he go about using up that $1,000?
All right, that's a great question. So Tim, you do have the carryover provision. So $660 will carry over into 2026. So using the 1K balance, you would really only need to spend a little over 400 to not lose any dollars. And I see Kelly posted in chat the FSA store, and that was an option I was going to recommend. You can go to the FSA store, browse through FSA eligible items, and purchase some first aid kits if you need anything like that, or some over-the-counter medications, stock up on that. And then there's also a lot of other options on there to help you spend down those funds.
Awesome. So we have a second question also from Kelly. She's wondering if she has the HSA, but her husband has a PPO plan from his work. Can she still use her HSA funds for his medication, co-pays, and any of those out-of-pocket expenses?
Yes. Kelly, you would only be able to contribute to the individual limit, but you would be able to use your HSA on his expenses. He just wouldn't be able to be considered as far as HSA contribution limits go.
One more question. Do I have to enroll for 2026 to roll over that $660?
So you do not have to enroll and make an election for 2026 in order to get the $660. rollover.
So, Katie, thank you so much. We hope you have a great day. We appreciate all the information.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Christy.
Of course. Bye,
Have a great,
everyone.
bye, everyone.